Good evening and welcome to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Wednesday evening. We're back with another massive show to bring you guys tonight. But before we jump into that, please give the video a like. Let's try and see 200 likes on today's video. And please do subscribe if you are new to the channel. So this evening's show is going to be focused on the story that's just broke in the last half an hour or so, that apparently Jose Mourinho is eyeing up a shock return to Manchester United. Massive story that's just dropped here in the UK from a pretty reliable source. As always, guys, I want you to have your say on this. So get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Would you take Jose Mourinho back at Manchester United? And let's get straight on into it then, shall we? So this is coming out from a couple of different people, but I'll read out the headline. The headline is: Jose Mourinho is eyeing a shock return to Manchester United. Jose thinks he has unfinished business at Old Trafford and is also said to be keen on working with the new setup at the club, obviously meaning Ineos, Jim Ratcliffe, etc., etc. It says sources close to Jose Mourinho say he has made it his mission to return to Manchester United. There's a couple of other little bits in the story that have come out as well. And obviously I want you guys to let me know, would you take Jose Mourinho back at Manchester United? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Obviously I will give you mine as well. So for anybody who is unaware, Jose Mourinho is currently out of a job. He got sacked by Roma a couple of months ago, I think it was. I personally think it was a little bit unfair. You know, he'd just taken them to their first European trophy in God knows how long. And for him to then be removed from that job, I thought was a little bit strange. Now, would I take Jose Mourinho back at Manchester United? If Erik Ten Hag was to get sacked next week, he'd be the first person I'd call up. 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. If Erik Ten Hag was to lose to Wolves on the weekend and then maybe lose to Aston Villa and West Ham the week after, I imagine he probably would be sacked. Do I want that to happen? Not really. I like Erik Ten Hag. I hope he does well. If we were to lose to Wolves on tomorrow night, we'll be in 11th place. So let that sink in for a minute. We're currently 9th. If we lose to Wolves tomorrow, they will leap ahead of us and we will go to 11th place. If we were then to lose to West Ham and to Aston Villa, both very, very difficult games. Both of them. Aston Villa are a strong side. West Ham are a strong side. We then play Luton the week after. People will say, ha, Luton. Well, Luton just went and beat Brighton. They just went and beat Brighton 4-0. Brighton are way better than us. So we could genuinely lose the next 3 games. Sorry, the next 4 games. Wolves away. That will either be a draw or we'll lose. It'll be a very tight game. West Ham at home, I think that's going to be a difficult game. West Ham are a better team than us at the moment. Aston Villa away from home, I think we'll lose that. Luton Town away from home, they've just beaten Brighton 4-0. We could easily lose the next 4 games, genuinely. And if that was to happen, I imagine that Erik Ten Hag's job would be on the line. And you know what, guys? If Erik Ten Hag was to be sacked in the kind of next 3 or 4 weeks, I would bring in Jose Mourinho as a temporary manager until the end of the season. Do I want Jose Mourinho to be the face of Manchester United for the next 10 years? I don't think so. But at the same time, I'm not sure. When you actually think about it, right? Jose Mourinho brought us the most trophies out of any manager since Sir Alex Ferguson. Yes, the football was boring, but if you actually look at the players we have in this team, we are best suited to counter-attacking football. And counter-attacking football, there's no one better than that than Jose Mourinho. Think about it logically. There really isn't any manager in world football that's better at the type of football we should be playing than Jose Mourinho. Now, Erik Ten Hag wants to play, beautiful passing football, which is what I want. But I genuinely just don't think that this set of players is capable of doing it. And people will say, oh, well, that's the manager's fault. You know, McTominay should be turned into prime Rodri and Johnny Evans should be, turned into prime Van Dijk. That's not how football works. I'm sorry. A manager can come in and improve players a little bit, but it's not as simple as bring in Erik Ten Hag and he should turn all of this crap into gold. Like, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It really, really doesn't. And I think that I've said this to you guys on the show many, many times before. Do I want Erik Ten Hag to be sacked? No. But do I think Erik Ten Hag suits the style of players we have at the club at the moment? No. And the big question is Ineos willing to, to remove people like Scott McTominay, people like Harry Maguire, obviously Martial's going to go. Other players in this team that really don't suit passing, possession-based football. I mean, you even have to look at people like Bruno, Rashford, Anthony. Like, do they suit passing football? All 3 of them when they get the ball, either try and play the Hollywood pass over the top of the defence and create an opportunity, which is great when it works, but 9 times out of 10 it doesn't. All of them, are really, really bad at giving away the ball, aren't they? And is that suited to Erik Ten Hag's system? I don't think so. And the question we have to ask ourselves is, will the board get rid of the people like McTominay, Maguire's, etc., or will they keep them? And if they're going to keep them, then I don't think Erik Ten Hag's going to work at this club, unfortunately. But just to be very, very clear, I don't want Erik Ten Hag to be sacked. I really, really don't. And I think that bringing in Jose Mourinho would be a step backwards, personally. But what I will say is this, right? If Erik Ten Hag was to be sacked, which I think there is a possibility he could, being completely honest. I really, really do. Because at the moment, the football's poor. The results are poor. We're out of the Champions League. And as I said, a couple more losses and we could be honestly kind of towards the middle to bottom end of the Premier League. I'm not by any means saying we're going to get relegated. So don't misperceive my words. But at the moment, right, we're only, like I said, if we lose to Wolves, we'll be down to 11th place. And we'd only then be like 5 points above 14th and 15th place. And if we were to lose, the next 3 or 4 games and other teams around us were to win, we genuinely could be down towards like 14th, 15th place come the end of February. And if that was to happen, I just don't see how Erik Ten Hag could keep his job. Now, what I want to happen is us to go and beat Wolves on the weekend. Tomorrow, and then go and beat West Ham on the weekend, then go and beat Villa, go and beat Luton and go on a run. And Erik Ten Hag to really show us what he's capable of. But from what I've seen so far this season, I just don't think that will happen. And I hope I'm proved wrong. I really, really do. Chris says Ten Hag needs to be sacked. He can't manage a big team. I don't think Ten Hag needs to be sacked, but I do think I agree that he's struggling to manage a big team. I'll agree with you there. Joshua says Jose is quality. Irvin says United should decide Ten Hag's future after the 24-25 season. Give the man time and all necessary backings. I agree with you, mate, but that's just not how football works anymore. It's a results business. And we know that there are lots and lots of different managers available at this moment in time, and lots of managers that some people would say are better than Erik Ten Hag. Let's have a look at what the poll says. 52% of you would take Jose Mourinho back at Manchester United, and 48% of you would not take him back. Okay, that's a good, interesting poll. Let's do one more poll and one more question. And the question is this: it's simple. Who is the better manager, Jose Mourinho, or Eric? Simple question, yes or no answer. Well, no, it's not a yes or no answer. It's a multiple choice. But let me know in the comment section, who is the better manager, guys? Jose Mourinho or Erik Ten Hag? I've just set up a poll for those who are watching it live. Who do you think's better as a manager for Manchester United? Who is the better manager? I think it's difficult, and I'll say this now, right? I think that Jose Mourinho, for this set of players that we have at this moment in time, is better than Erik Ten Hag, without a shadow of a doubt. Because the set of players we have at the moment don't suit Erik Ten Hag's style of football. I know I keep going on and on and on and on about this. And I know people will say, oh, well, he signed Rasmus Højlund, he signed Casemiro, he signed Anthony. He signed 4 or 5 players that have got into the first team. But even from then, you look, Casemiro's been injured loads, Martinez has been injured loads, Rasmus Højlund's 20, Mason Mount, nobody doesn't even get in the team. Eriksen is a bench player. He doesn't have like a first 11 of his own players. If you look at Arsenal's team when Arteta joined and what the team is now, it's completely different. Go and look at Pep's team when he joined versus the team now. He got rid of 95% of the players and then brought in his own people. And that's my point here. I think for the players we have at the moment, Jose Mourinho would do a better job. The football would be boring, but that's what these players are capable of doing. But if we want to play a more interesting style of football and we are willing to have open heart surgery, as Ralph Ragnick said, getting rid of all of the deadwood, getting rid of all these players who should have been got rid of years ago, then I think Erik Ten Hag is the better man for the rebuild going forward. It completely depends what Ineos's plans are. It completely does, and we don't know. Maybe they don't want to spend much money. Maybe they think McTominay should be the next Man United captain. Maybe they're planning on building a statue of Rashford outside the stadium. Like, we have no idea what Ineos have planned behind the scenes, and it's very, very difficult to look forward into the future when we're in this situation. A. Fran says, if we want to become champions again, we need Eric Ten Hag. I agree with you there, mate. I do. But I think we would only become champions if we got rid of, 90% of our players that we have in the squad at the moment, genuinely. Robert says, how many teams has Mourinho had since leaving United? I think your question is so stupid. Well, the question is simple. It's who's a better manager for Manchester United? Who's the better fit, Jose Mourinho or Eric Ten Hag? That's the question. It's not who's won more trophies, because you could just look on the internet and find that out without even, thinking. It's who is the better manager for Manchester United with this current set of players, Jose Mourinho or Eric Ten Hag? That's the question. It's simple. It's not difficult to comprehend. You just have to decide with this current set of players, with where we are at the moment, who would get more out of this players, Jose Mourinho or Eric Ten Hag. I'm going to leave it there for this one tonight, guys. I just wanted to do a short one to talk about this, but do get involved in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. What do you make of this story? Would you take Jose Mourinho back at Manchester United? I'd love to see what you guys have to say. So make sure you get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. This has been Daily Red Devil. Please do smash a like on the video before you go and subscribe if you're new. I'll be back at 11 a.m. tomorrow for a live show. It'll be a slightly longer one. Tonight, I just wanted to do this one a little bit more focused on one topic. Have a good night, everybody, and I'll speak to you all at 11 a.m. UK time tomorrow.